What's good? What's good? All right, y'all see the title. What time is it? 11:19, almost midnight. I had to get this one in. Hold on, I got one of my lights on and one is off. All right, there we go. There we go. Light bright. A little much better. Somebody was writing me saying your videos always stop. And I'm like, well, not always, but I do like um I don't like it being so bright all the time, so I switch it up. But it is what it is. But that started off. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. And you know, I was trying to fit the whole title to put it in there to headline the title, but it was too long. So I wanted to say armed forces, but I couldn't fit the S in it. So uh excuse me. Yeah, so I was scrolling all my pictures in my Instagram and trying to find pictures of everybody that family and friends that served that that so I could post their pictures and whatnot. And I did find my aunt picture. My aunt was in the army for 22 years. Retired army nurse. Her name is Diane Chambers Williams. Salute to you, Auntie. Then my cousin Donald did two tours in Iraq, or one in Iraq and one in Afghanistan, and then he came home and unfortunately some punks murdered him, and it haven't been solved. But happy Veterans Day to you, cuz, and just crazy. These jokers don't have no regard for life out here, you know. He done survived two wars and then come home and get snuffed out, you know. It's my Uncle Junebug, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I found this. What movie was that from? Denzel was in that movie, and yeah, I forget the name of that movie. Glory. That's what it was. Denzel won a supporting actor Oscar for that movie. Yeah, so this my grandmother, Roxie Woodland, Big Mama, my Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? I talked about Sissy Houston yesterday, but this Roxie Woodland, 114 if she was still here. She died at 80 years old in 1988. And y'all get a good look at my grandmother. the best grandmother in the world. You hear me? Yeah. So mother of 12 and ain't take no mess from nobody and stood maybe 5'5" and would jump up at you quick, you know. And she ain't play, you know. And she wasn't going for it. From Charles County, you know, that's where her people, my great grandmother and father, her parents, she grew up in Charles County. And well, it's her birthday today as well as Veterans Day. So, you know, so she gets celebrated today along with Veterans Day. And so she would have been 114 today. I said 13, but my son corrected me like, nah, she 114. She was born 1907. Um, it's an inside joke about her headstone. She don't have a deceased date, but just her birth. She paid for her own plot when she was alive, so they couldn't put deceased on it, you know, and we just left it as it is. So it's our inside joke. So when every time somebody see it, they be like, so why she don't have it's a talking piece, you know. And inquisitive people are the individuals that inquire about it. And we laugh and we let them know she was still alive when she paid for her headstone and her plot, you know. And you know, she was one of them always prepared, you know. So even in preparing for her death, she was already set up to go, you know, always a planner, you know. So I think I got that trait. I be just trying to do stuff in advance. So therefore, once you get to a situation, you already done played it in your head and mapped it out. And then if something go wrong, you done already thought about how to counter it or adjust and pivot whatever the situation that might have went wrong, you know, to not be totally surprised about what went wrong. You know, you play it in your head before you face it. So, you know, an interesting thing I want to talk about, and I talk about this a lot to folks that I talk to. You know, my mother was the baby of 12, and there's only two of them left out of the 12 siblings that my grandmother had. And interesting thing that I always talk about that my grandmother, after 40 years old, when she turned 40, she didn't work another 40 years of her life because her kids took care of her. Her 12 kids, they all had jobs and they would give her $100 every paycheck. Every paycheck. Every summer, my grandmother was going on a cruise somewhere. She damn near been on 100 cruise. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but it seemed like it. But you know, but you know, that's how you pose a love on your elders and your moms, especially moms, you know, because when you know, usually when the fathers, the daddies are away working or they in the military or they just not around, moms hold the family together. You know what I'm saying? With all the strength in her little body, she hold the family together. And that's not an easy task. The women today not built like the women like our grandmothers was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? They endured a lot with so much little to work with. It's so much, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. It's so much that you have to your disposal now, but yet people across the board can't get nothing but the limited done. You know, it's kind of backwards. You know what I'm saying? But it's, I guess it's how you approach it and how you deal with it. But you know, like my first wife, her people, I think one of the aunts, uh, when she died, her husband died first. She left her home, and whoever that was taking over the house decided to renovate. They found money in the house, you know, that was stashed away. And one, this lady never worked. Her husband worked. And again, we talking about women that saved every dime back in the day. So it was a nice size of money that money paid for the renovations of that house. So it's just a different time and different generation of how women were built back in the day. Our grandmother, you know, generation versus this generation. And you know, I can't tell the grandmothers from the young girls because the grandmothers trying to be younger than their daughters and granddaughters. That's kind of crazy to me. You know, I'm like, embrace your youth. If you feel good, you look good, you know, flaunt it. I get it. But it's a line somewhere. I ain't out here sagging my pants trying to look like these young boys. I don't even want to dress like them, you know, because I'm a grown man. You know, I'm on my Bill Cosby with nice sweaters and button ups and, you know, dress shoes and slacks, you know. But I can throw on the sweatsuits and jeans. And y'all see, I love the fila, you know, gear because I couldn't afford that stuff back in the day. You know, so that's what resonates with me. I'm retro. So everything that I couldn't afford, like, you know, fashion wise, I'm liable to buy the stuff now because I can afford it, you know. And the prices is not the same prices that they used to be. Even if they was, I can afford it if I really wanted it. But it ain't that serious. And then again, it's economical because nobody is wearing these brands but my age group. So, because it's a passe brand, if you will, you know, the price is low. So I take advantage of that, you know. So, you know, I don't mind looking like the 80s and 90s. Everything is retro anyway when you look at things, you know. Everything comes back like them old plain sweatsuits with no emblems or designs on it. They was just, I used to hate them sweatsuits. You know, we used to call them sweatsuits Kmart sweatsuits. Meant that they were cheap. Nobody liked wearing them. You know, now it's the big thing, you know, these little big lines and you know, they look cheap now, you know. What, like I said, what wasn't cool is cool, and that's how things is. Somebody always trying to make something a fashionable trend, like when your PJs outside with slippers and stuff like that, the bonnets. It's like somebody just like, I'm gonna wear this, and they started a trend. So that's how easy that go down. But I just thought that I just bring that story to y'all, about my big mama, my grandmother, who was everything to me, because again, my mother was the baby girl, the last sibling, so we always lived close to my grandmother, wherever she lived at. So I was always over there like that. She was our babysitter, me and my sisters. And yeah, she died in '88, the same year I graduated high school. She died in maybe November, so got to see me go to college. And when she died, I ain't had no desire to stay there. You know, people used to tell me, well, that should have motivated you to stay. She was my rock. Had she not died, I know I probably would have finished college because she was on my back about going. Matter of fact, she the one said I was going. I wanted to work. I wanted to get a job and make me some money because we was broke out here. You hear me? So she was like, nah, you going to college. Then she said, look, I don't want you to go and purposely flunk. So let's make a deal. Try it out, and if you like it, you stay. If you don't like it, you leave. I said I could do that. I got the UDC, University of District of Columbia. I loved it. I found out John Thompson is an alumni. Georgetown John Thompson graduated from UDC. So that's one of the notables that, I'm sure nobody know about, but you know now. But yeah, so my major was mass media. My minor was film production. So as I stated, I wanted to make films, and I was inspired by Spike Lee. And if that didn't work out, which it didn't, I wanted to work at a TV station, to be the cameraman, and life happened, and none of the plans happened. So, so you just going in different directions. But it started with her death. When you close to somebody and they die on you because God called them home, you like it feel like you in a daze. You functioning, you know what goes on, but it's like you having an out of body experience. And I ain't really know what I was feeling. I just know that my mind wasn't gonna be on nobody's school. My focus wasn't there. My drive and my reason to be there was gone. So what really hurt was, I'm a party goer back in the day. I'm partying hard, I'm drinking, and you know, dating a lot of girls, all that was fun. And then I